going to use this template to practice a range of watercolor techniques. So here, the first one I'm trying is plain areas of watercolors. So I'm going to copy the title here on my model, or part of the title on my model. The secret here is to have just the right amount of water. So you want your watercolor not too dry, not too wet. So if you've got a little bit too much water, just use a tissue to get rid of some of the excess water on there. I'm going to do one color, then I'm going to leave it and come back to it later, so my colors don't blend together. So now I want to try gradients and kind of mixing and blending colors together. So I'm going to start with the avocado stone here, which is dark brown and getting lighter. So to get the lighter area, just rinse my brush and stretch the dark area into the white on there. So I'm going to try the mango on here. We've got green kind of going into a little bit of red on here and a little bit of yellow on there. So for those techniques where you're blending and making gradients, you need to work with plenty of water, and while your watercolor is still wet, to kind of blend them together and get the watercolor to really blend into one another. So here I'm really looking carefully at the model and trying to spot every little bit of different colors that might be used, so I can add them to there. It's got a bit of yellow in the middle, a little bit darker on the back and the bottom on there, so I'm trying to get those darker tones on there as well and blend them with a wet brush slightly, or maybe dried brush depending on there. So coming back to my plain areas, putting a second color down. Now my first color is dry, they won't mix together. And then once I've done this, I'm going to practice more gradient going into the avocado and doing the green of the avocado on there. Okay, so to get started on there, we've got really pale yellow, pale greeny yellow. So I'm putting a little bit of yellow, a little bit of green, and then with an almost just down brush, just mixing those two colors together. The broccoli, just putting a background of a really thin light layer of green and yellow, then coming back and using marks to create the texture on there, really observing my first painting, trying to do it as closely, copying as closely as I can. Finishing my title, adding the last color on there, the blue, and the green as well. So we have the title all colored in. The last technique I want to show you, it's a really light wash background with some splashes. To do the splashes, you need to flick the hair of the brush with the tip of your fingers on there. That's a technique that we're going to use in our main recipes as well.